Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Hi, if anybody is trying to purchase about $5,000 or $6,000 worth of famous monsters / blacklight posters / old movie posters, get in touch with me. Must live in the general Ontario area. I will sell you thousands of dollars worth of movie posters, because on top of my prestigious jobs as a writer, comedian, all the other things, I'm also a prime reseller of items. You can find me on the Buns trading app, trading away my life, trying to get rid of a baby. I traded this week, I traded a Babysitter's Club movie VHS that possibly belonged to my sister and was not mine to trade. What did I trade it for? Two bottles of Afterbite gel. So when you get invariably bitten by bugs, which happens to me all the time because of my rich, rich blood that no one can resist, you can put this gel on it and ooh, it cools and stops the itch. Guess what, though? It's expired. I freaking wound up going to the hey Marito, what's up? Hello everybody watching, if anyone is watching. I never know. It always says just 1 or 0 people are watching, but it tells me people joined. I think people join and are like, what the hell is going on? Where am I? Why am I watching my friend Nick in his bedroom? Why do I have to know about Nick's bedroom? I really shouldn't introduce you to my bedroom, but if you have any questions, I'd love to know. I'm just getting everything ready before I officially start. Okay, now we are paying with a power card, this brand new credit card I invented. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nickflanaganweakly. This is the 4th episode this week. No, this is the 3rd episode this week. On Monday, I dropped a very well-received interview / conversation with Damian Abraham and Danko Jones, a couple of rockers. We could call it the Battle of the Frontmen. If we'd involved George from Alexis on Fire, maybe Craig from the Leather Uppers, etc. Wow, that would have been a meeting of the Canadian front men. And I'm only saying that because it was all men. But, you know, we could have had Carol Pope there, singer of High School Confidential. We could have all kinds of people. This is already a very Canadian conversation, and I'm uncomfortable, although I am in Canada, Toronto, Ontario. Home of the Whopper. That's not a unique to Toronto item, but we have Whoppers here. So it is home to the Whopper. We offer shelter to the waffle, the Whopper here in the 6, the T-Dot, where I've almost been back for 1 year. We're almost at the 1-year anniversary. How should I celebrate the anniversary? Blackout? Drunk? Listen to Blackout by Redman and Method Man? Perform theater that has a blackout at the end? I'm thinking blackout as the means of celebrating. I can't tell how much better I am than 1 year ago, but let's just say less hiding is occurring. You know, I feel like last year there was a lot of like, oh, these sheets, they can perfectly cover my body and I can avoid the imaginary Bolsheviks and Germans coming into the abode. They'll get me. I wasn't paranoid, but I was just maybe a little more fearful of the world and my situation. And at this point, I'm happy to say that I'm addressing directly some of those issues. So that feels good. I've also used this podcast a lot to talk about attention deficit disorder. And I hope that's okay. I understand if you listen to this or if you've listened a few times and you're like, can Nick please stop telling us he has ADD? I understand he's trying to create a web and a trail of explanation for any crime he may be involved in the future, but give us a break. And look, I'm not saying it's something that makes me, particularly special at all. I'm just trying to remind you, the listener, that this is a common thing and that this is something I didn't even know at all enough about until coming back to the city and focusing on it. No pun intended. Big pun intended. We never talk about how Big Pun wasn't a good guy. Because he was so good at rapping. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. However it is you're following this discussion, it's very appreciated. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to make my way to the Toronto airport, pick up a friend. That's what I do these days, is I pick up friends at the airport. In Los Angeles, that's like a thing, that's a big ask, as people say nowadays. Hey, can you pick me up at LAX? Sure, but you're going to have to remodel my house as payment. Well, that's not how it goes here. Here in the 6, if you have a car, you're legally obliged to pick up even strangers at the airport. But I'm not picking up a stranger, picking up a friend. And, it's important to have a friend. Time for a gratitude list. That's the gratitude horn. Let me sound the horn one more time. Grateful for today. I am grateful for today. Shelter. Wow. I get to have shelter. That is lucky. That is a blessing. Could have been so likely I would just be out there in the world, forced to make a blanket out of leaves. But yet I am lucky enough to have a roof above my head and a shirt on my back. And honestly, if the cat was here, I would drape him over my shoulder like a mink stole. So I'm very thankful for that. And the other thing I'm grateful for is cooler heads prevailing. Let's just say my instinctual response to a lot of things is defensive to the point of, sometimes hating the person who is coming at me. And sometimes, even before they come at me, I'm like, this person might hate me. I better pre-hate them. But at the beginning of the week, somebody actually said to me, as I was in the middle of a sort of strange conflict that arose out of a positive published review, I wound up getting involved in like this back and forth. And someone said to me, you have to disengage. This is not worth it. And let me tell you, I did. And I didn't feel better for a few days. It was quite stressful. I guess conflict really, really, really gets to me. But I feel better now. I had a dream last night, and I think it processed it for me. I'm not going to get too deep into the details of the dream because, as many have said, nobody likes hearing dreams. But let's just say I dreamed a movie starring Ryan Gosling and Al Pacino basically fighting their way out of a high-rise. And somehow that was me processing this event earlier this week. So that's interesting. All of this, I say that to say this. Sorry, I'm having some issues here. I say that to say this. A lot of the times when I've gotten in trouble, created conflict once before there was one, sparked conflict once before there was none. And my idea of conflict is literally someone saying the beef is a little overcooked that you made. If we were at a restaurant and they said the beef's overcooked, I wouldn't care. But, you know, it's a little different if I made the beef myself, which in this context I did. No idea how to make beef. It seems easy. Turn on the oven, put some uncooked beef in there, maybe like cut the beef a little, put some chives in the beef. Nas once said some beef is everlasting. What do you think of that? Okay. What I'm trying to say is if you just meet someone or someone asks you a simple question, don't tell them your life story and don't tell them how you came to an answer unless they ask. Basically treat everybody like a border guard. Only answer exactly what's asked. Don't tell them anything. If you don't know them well, even if you know them well, don't tell them much. Let them talk. I mean, I can't let you talk now because I'm not even, this is a one-sided conversation, but that's what I'm just saying is anytime if you get some letter from some random person who's asking you a question, don't add to it unless you absolutely need to. You are setting yourself up to be criticized. Do you like criticism? Well, I like it if it's constructive and gentle. Any of those two things not happening, you're getting, may I speak to your manager? So I'm grateful for I'm grateful for the people who tell me to chillax and don't do that. Those who are saying just, don't engage, don't, add this weird thing to the end of your sentence or to the end of an article or the end of an email. You should see the first drafts of my emails. If anyone's gotten an actual email from me, they probably know that the final draft of it ain't no good neither. But it's better. Oh my God. My screen has been frozen almost the whole time. I really hope this even just still works. How and ever. The third thing I'm grateful for are bathrooms. You'd think this has something to do with shelter. Maybe I'm cheating by being grateful for both bathrooms and shelter. But I was talking about hiding earlier. Oh my gosh. Hide in a bathroom. Your face on that cool floor. I don't care that it's dirty. I mean, I care that it's dirty, but the floor is so cool. The bathtub is so cool on your face. Hide there. And besides hiding, lots of other things to do in the bathroom. Important things, clean things, dirty things, thinking things, and the hiding, and the resting. Thank you, bathrooms. I'm glad you exist. Thank you to, I've always been confused where the bathrooms were invented. I feel like at first they used to tell you it was the Romans. Then other people were like, no, it's the Persians. And probably Africa had some, and Asia had some inventing of bathrooms too. We've had to do that kind of thing since the dawn of time. It's been a cool week. After an initially cruddy start and some outbursts of overwhelming emotion, it's been a pretty good week. There were 2 days in there where I was like, wow, I'm actually focused. I'm doing 2 semi-boring tasks on my to-do list, and I'm finishing up with them. Made it to group. Love this group stuff. Love getting together in these groups. Meeting really smart, cool people and learning from them. Learning just reading things aloud and having like realizations. It can't replace things like therapy or psychiatry, but I mean, they what a wonderful supplement to that. And it is a great thing to have if you don't have access to therapy. It's like having 11 amateur therapists with you at all times, but who have had experiences in what you're going through. What a dream. But also these groups reminded me of something I'd forgotten about a little bit, was how much I would go when I was a child to these programs where we would play role-playing games and war strategy games together. 5 or 6, even 10 of us. I went to Dungeons and Dragons day camp 2 years in a row, where we just went into this room by the water and stayed far away from the water and played Dungeons and Dragons. Instead, we played the campaign Temple of Elemental Evil. The dungeon masters were like 17 and we were all 9 and 10. Seeing older kids who were into this thing that we liked was empowering. And that's why I'm such an empowered person now. So empowered. Just incredibly empowered. Yeah, and even beyond that camp, which was ridiculous. I even went to these things called Saturday morning class.